This is Abarth 500.
Abarth is Fiat's sport division. Regular 500s get more powerful engines, bigger rims, more spoilers, and a lot of Scorpion badges.
The European spec Abarth 500 is made in Poland. Despite what some people may think, it's not put together in a shed in some picturesque part of Italy. It rolls off the same production line with the current generation Fiat 500, with Lancia Y, with Ford Ka, and until recently with the previous generation Fiat Panda.
Fiat 500 is in production since 2007 and Abarth 500 since 2008. 6 years ago, this pocket rocket made a big impression. Today, Fiat has to offer special editions like this 595 Turismo to keep up with the competition.
The cheapest Abarth 500 with the 135 horsepower engine is more expensive than the Suzuki Swift Sport. If I were to choose based solely on practicality, I'd go for the Japanese car.
On the other hand, Abarth, like the Fiat 500 that it's based upon, stands out from the crowd. People are more likely to give the Scorpion a glance than to think twice about a Suzuki. Also in the front, the Abarth is more interesting than the competition.
Under the bonnet, Abarth puts a 1.4 turbocharged engine. It's either 135 or 160 horsepower. This is the more powerful 160 horsepower version. For some reason, in the papers it says 99 kilowatts. Unfortunately, you don't get to listen to that great sound when you're sitting inside the Abarth 500. You can joke all you want about Ford and the Fiesta ST with its sound symposer, but I think Ford might be onto something here. Inside the Abarth 500 you hear the general engine noise, which is not that interesting. You hear the suspension when the car goes over bumps, and there are some rattles and squeaks every once in a while. As this is a rather small car, the engineers didn't have much room for changes, improvements. As a result, you end up sitting quite high for a sporty car. Now, this will be a problem for taller people, because there's not much headroom even before you put on your helmet. And you do need your helmet on a truck. Safety first. There is also no reach adjustment in the steering column, so finding the right position for you may be a bit of a challenge. The 160 horsepower 1.4 engine makes this car go like stink. It accelerates from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in about 7.4 seconds. That's somewhere between Suzuki Swift Sport and Peugeot 208 GTI. You just have to remember to keep it in relatively high revs, otherwise you'll have to wait a while for the turbo to kick in.
In the Fiat 500, there is a city button, which boosts power steering assistance. In the Abarth 500, it's been replaced with a sport button, which weakens steering assistance and sharpens the throttle reaction.
But as far as I'm concerned, this car should be in sports mode all the time. It's all about fun, isn't it? For this kind of performance, the Abarth 500 is surprisingly economical. I have no problem getting the 8.5 liters per 100 kilometers in the urban cycle, like the manufacturer promises. But the most interesting part is on the motorway. Doing motorway speeds, this car will use no more than 9 liters per 100 kilometers, which is remarkable for a small engine like this. And to tell you the truth, in real life, this engine is more economical than Fiat's twinner engine. On a twisty road, the Abarth 500 is really fun to drive. The gearbox has a rather short throw. If I were to complain about something, it would be about the brakes. They're okay on the road, but on a track they will fade rather fast and they have a tendency to smoke. And since the Abarth 500 likes to understeer, I suggest you take the long line through the corner, through the apex, rather than try to outbrake everybody and take a short way around the corner.
You also want to be careful with the brakes, because hazard lights come on with ABS, and there goes your street cred. Unfortunately, bigger rims also mean a greater turning circle.
The price isn't helping either. Abarth 500 may still look good, but Ford Fiesta ST and Peugeot 208 GTI offer more for about the same money. While you're here, have a look at my reviews of Ford Fiesta ST, Peugeot 208 GTI and Suzuki Swift Sport. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel to be up to date with all the latest reviews. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.